Hello and welcome to part 4 of the Power Platform Security series. And today we would like to have a look at audit functionalities. And maybe you know the standard Power Platform audit functionalities. And I will show you where to enable them, how to find audit logs, how to get insights out of this. But this is just a start, because based on that, I want to show you what you can do in the Microsoft Defender or Purview audit integration. And here we will check, hey, what happened in your tenant? And then we will close this with a look at Microsoft Purview data maps and data assets that give you a kind of classification and data search functionalities based on classifiers. So let's get started. First of all, Power Platform audit functionalities. I linked you here to Microsoft Learn websites, where you can have a look at that. But rather than reading that, let's have a look at my demo system so that you directly see what's going on and how you set these things up. Okay, so I'm here in the Power Platform Admin Center in the security section, and then I have here this threat detection where you can see the audit functionalities. And of course, what you can do is you just select your environment. So let's say this one here, set up auditing, and then you toggle the switches that whatever you need. So here I have turn on auditing, user sign-ins, activity, and any other apps, and then you define how long you want to keep them. That's one way how you can do that. Another way is if you are in the environment. So I have here a new environment, and then here on top you have the settings, and in the settings section there is here something about audit settings, and from here you can do it. You can also say how long you want to use these things, and then retain these logs. Okay, then the other thing, once you're done with that, you can make changes. So let's have a look at an example. So I have here a record, and let's say we change here the business phone to this number. If we save it, save and close, then we are able to see and track all of the changes for these records. How can you do that? Well, let's go here into this. Let's open it again, and then related you have audit history. And then you should be able to see, hey, what was the old value? What was the new value? When has it been changed? So that's a very easy way how you can see things for individual records or tables and so on. And just remember, you can set up these things at different levels, at the environment level, table and individual records. But if you want to see everything that happened, then there is a smart trick here. You just click here, this audit summary view. And what will open is something like this. So let's refresh that. This gives you an overview of everything that happened in this environment. So you can say here, I updated a record. You see here, this one, it's a contact. And if you open that, you can see the old value, the new value. Very nice. You can even filter for that. So you can filter for, let's say, things that have been updated, created, deleted, and so on, and then you see what was going on. So very nice. The disadvantage of this is, of course, you don't see everything. So for example, if you create a Power App or a Flow or an agent, then you don't see this directly here. So it's really a hassle. You just see sometimes, hey, somebody logged into something, but that's about it. And how you can overcome this thing, this is something I want to show you next. Okay, so after this first short demo, here a summary. So what we are doing is focusing basically on our Dataverse environments. We don't see information about Power Automate flows, Power Apps, Copilot Studio. Sometimes you see this kind of information, but not in a very clear way. So if you created an app, directly look into this, then you can see, okay, somebody logged on. But in general, it's very difficult to find out, for example, who created a Power App, and so on. And now to overcome this, I will have a look at the Defender or Purview. They are integrated, and you will see this in a minute. Yeah. Again, I have here some articles from Microsoft Learn that you can go through. But again, let's have a look at how it looks like and how this works. Okay, I'm here now in the Microsoft Defender. And if you scroll to the very bottom, you can see here an audit section. And this allows you to extract information of what was going on in your environment. Of course, you have a couple of filters. You can filter for activities, workloads. Let me show you that. So if we enter here power, so you can filter for specific tools that we have. You can have certain activities. So let's say if we filter here, I will try for flow. But then you already see, hey, if you want to filter, there is a lot of activity that you can filter on. And what I did is I was just filtering based on date values. Maybe you want to limit it by users or something else, and then you hit search. And it created me this element here. And the same view is something that you can have in Purview. So this audit functionality is also available here. So if you're in Microsoft Purview, you have also the audit feature, and then you see the same here. Of course, what you can do is you can download things simply by hitting this export button, and then you can see all of the activities and things that happened in your environment. And let me show you that. I downloaded this file already. I open it here, but you see it's very, very extensive. So just for basically 2 days, I have here a couple of thousand records. So if I scroll down, I have more than 2,000 records, and I did not do much in my system. So be careful and mindful what you're doing. But you can see you can filter here, for example, for users. So let's say I want to see what admin did, and maybe I want to see what kind of flow he created or edited. And then I can see, hey, he did that. I have a timestamp, and here I have all of the details that I need. Of course, that's not user-friendly, user-readable. But remember from my first post on the security series, you have the automation function that can format you these things in a very, very easy way. And what you see here is you do not only have flows, you have different things for bots, power apps, whatever you have here and want to analyze. So that's it for the second part. Now let's have a look at the last part. Before we have a look at the last part, let's quickly summarize what we saw here. With this Defender Purview integration, we do not only focus on Dataverse. We have a very detailed and comprehensive insight into what happened. We have an integration into Defender. So meaning if somebody hacked your system and you set up some policies and alerts and something like that in Defender, you will be informed about that. And that's a big advantage of using this kind of integration. But of course, you saw it. You get a big Excel file out of that, and you need to download it and then analyze the data. And this can really take a while, especially if you do not use automations. Okay, but now let's move on and have a look at the last thing. It's again in Purview, and it's about the data map and data assets. Again, I have linked you some Microsoft Learn articles here, but rather than having a look at these Learn articles, let's check out things in my system and how it works. Okay, so we are now again in Microsoft Purview, and I'm in the data map section. And what you see here is the different domains. So this is basically just like a structure that I created. Now, let us have a look at the data sources, then you will see this structure in a different way. You can see it either in a table view or a map view. And this kind of gives you a hierarchy of different environments that you have. And what I did is I just created these nodes and then added here the Dataverse. How are you doing that? Well, once you have this node, you click here on register, or maybe let's do it here. You click on register, and then you can integrate different databases that you want to analyze. So, and what we have in preview is here Dataverse. And that's what I did. So I basically came here and was integrating my Dataverse environment. So what you need for that is basically the org ID, and then you enter this credentials, API, data, and B2. And then you say, okay, into which collection? So in which of these nodes is this going? Yeah. So it's very easy. And once you have that, then you can create new scans. And you see that I have done that. And let's see what these new scans are doing. Yeah, we just go through and then you get an impression of what this thing is doing. So you give it a name. Let's say scan number 5. And then we have here a runtime. The important thing is here you have a credential. So it's basically like a dummy user. It's called here managed identity. It's a system user where you do not have to take care about credentials and so on. And this one will be connected to the environment from which we want to extract the data. So this one will be a system user and then also get some system user roles. This is the scan level, the detail that you want to have. That's the domain, that's the collection. And now if we continue, then you will see a couple of interesting things. First of all, the connection will be tested. And once that is hopefully through in a second, then you will see what we can scan and what we can get out of this. So now here in the next screen, you see all of the tables that are included. And I don't want to have that. Maybe I just want to have the account and maybe the contact. And I only want to scan these kind of things. But really, if you want, you can really analyze everything that is inside of your Dataverse environment. Then you click continue. And now here's an important point. There are some default templates. And if you click on details here, you can see what will be done with this data. So they will be classified based on out-of-the-box rules. So for example, if you have personal data in your database with names, with the email, with phone numbers, or if you have some government documents, something like Australian business number, and you see it goes on and on and on. So it classifies you the tables and the records that are in there, and then you can get a quick look at, hey, what's in there? Do I have sensitive information somewhere? And of course, you're not limited to what Microsoft delivers you. You can also extend it with your own custom rules. That's a bit beyond these things, but just remember that you can also define your own rules how to identify data. Then you just say continue, and how often do you want to run it? I just say I want to run it once, and then I say continue, and then I say save and run. That's it. And once you have done that, and once these scans are completed, then you can go into the unified catalog. And let me quickly show you that. And here you have data assets. They basically come from your data sources. So I have two data sources, two types Dataverse that are integrated. One with an FNO environment, the other one just with a plain Dataverse environment. And here you can explore the data. So let's have a look at Vader. And what you see here is I basically have these two tables included. The last time I run it. Of course, based on the classifiers, you can see here what you have available, and what it was identified was, for example, there were tables with email addresses inside. So if you click on that, you see in which tables were emails found. So in those, maybe you want to kind of restrict them and be careful. Or I have my custom classifier that I defined, and this one was only identified in this table. And if you go there, then you can do more things. For example, you can add responsible contacts. You can define security rules. You can change things. But this is a very, very smart and easy way to find out what kind of data you have in your environment, and where you might take care of something because it might be sensitive and you do not want to give this information to everyone. Okay, so that's it for this part. Now let's go back and close this post. Okay, so after this last demo, again here a short summary. So what I showed you here in the Purview data map and data assets, it allows you to find information easily. It has an integration into Purview, but currently it's still in preview. So not everything is really working fully automatic and in the perfect way. I had to test it a couple of times, but as it goes general availability to GA, I think things will get much better and give you a really powerful tool to see what kind of data you have in your Dataverse table. And as usual, that's it. Thanks for watching and listening. And as usual, if you have questions, just reach out.